In this series, The World's Most Dangerous Snakes, I expand on an idea first introduced by wildlife presenter Nigel Marvin as I count down what I believe to be the 10 most dangerous snakes in the world. We look at 4 rating factors. Number 1, venom toxicity. 2, proximity to people. 3, personality. And 4, a special category known as the X factor. Each snake is given a score out of 10 for each category. The scores are then combined to reach a total out of 40, and the snakes are rated based on that overall score. Hi guys, Dingo here, and welcome to this week's video where we count down the top 10 deadliest snakes in the world, and one of my favorite comes in at number 7, and he's in this box over here. He's one of the most popular snakes in the world, actually. So many people keep asking me, Dingo, show us more of this snake over here. And these snakes have to make the top 10 most dangerous snakes in the world for a whole bunch of factors. Let me bring him out, you'll recognize him instantly. Oh, and he's looking like a big bus today. Unfortunately, this guy, as you know, is fairly chilled out. Look at this. Oh, super heavy. Look at that. And this is Thor, the Malaysian King Cobra. Look how big he is, guys. Isn't that incredible? 4.8 meters, that's 15 foot of King Cobra. Can you hear the frogs starting croaking? We're at this beautiful place this morning, a mate of mine's house. Beautiful place to film. Frogs saying hello. Just gonna move this box out the way while Thor just relaxes here a little bit. Isn't he spectacular? Look, he's just hanging out there. What a beautiful big boy. And King Cobras, he's from Malaysia. Give me us a bit of a hood, my boy. Let's see what mood you're in today. Now he's waking up a bit. Hello, my big guy. Isn't he amazing? If I touch him here, he should come back to me. Oh, look how chilled out he is. Hello, big boy. No, you come in. Just a little bit. Come say hello. And you can see, no anger. He's just chilling out, just saying, hello, Dingo. I have to be super careful in this position, though. Because his tail's all the way over here by me, he can swing around really quickly. And as I was saying, Thor, he's a Malaysian King Cobra. Look at that, stretching all the way out to the camera, 5 meters away. He's a Malaysian King Cobra, and you get a whole bunch of locality King Cobras, and they all vary slightly in terms of size, coloration. Malaysian generally get the biggest, along with Indian Kings. Indian Kings not as pretty. Don't be offended, my Indian viewers. We love you guys. I love your King Cobras, but they're a lot darker, and the band's a lot more white. Thor, when he's in his breeding colors, gets really yellow. Absolutely spectacular. And you'll see the orange underneath him there. I'm just going to get someone to come behind the cameraman there. And what they'll do is, as they get behind that cameraman, Thor hopefully will hood up and look at you. There we go. We've got Andy, our Aussie, going by the cameraman here. Let's see if he can get Thor to hood up a little bit. Just tap the ground in front of him. Yeah, come a bit closer to him. There we go. And if you just touch him under his chin there a little bit, just, oh, hello, Thor. Let me get him up here. You can't even trust an Aussie to get a cobra hooding. Only joking, Aussie. Now, let's get into why I say the King Cobra is on our list of the 10 most dangerous snakes in the world. Number 1, our first category we always look at is we look at the venom toxicity of these snakes. I don't want you going in between my legs, boy. So when it comes to venom toxicity, the King Cobras kill people every single year. They've got a very toxic neurotoxin. And although that neurotoxin is maybe not the most dangerous of all the cobras in the world, it's potent, super potent. And a bite from this snake has a 70% chance of killing you without antivenom. It's got a 120% chance of killing me without antivenom because of my allergies to the venom. He just wants to make a duck behind here into this beautiful kind of natural reed area. It's a filtration for our ponds here. Isn't he incredible? Look at that. And they're super intelligent. But their venom, very, very toxic. Stop, my boy. Stop, my boy. Super toxic venom. I just want to move him a little bit over here. We've got a better view of him. Let's see if you'll just sit for a little bit. Normally king cobras will move around, and then they'll relax and they'll start sitting. And as you can see, guys, we've turned around because Thor kept wanting to go in one direction. So we've moved around now so you can see him properly. And as I was saying, when it comes to toxicity of venom, neurotoxic venom breaks down the messages going from that blocks the messages going from your brain to the muscles in your body. So what happens? You die of asphyxiation. Your diaphragm goes paralyzed, and then you stop breathing. That's how you die from a king cobra bite. Absolutely horrific way. It's not painful. You go really quickly, but they also bite really hard. They've got the hardest bite force of any snake in the world. 20 times that of the gaboon viper. How's that? And the other thing, when we're talking venom, you have to talk about the quantity of the venom that these snakes have in them. You can see on the top of their heads, massive big venom glands, and they have the second biggest quantity of venom of any snake in the world. That's massive. That's really, really big. And not me, I promise. It's Thor. He's doing a poop right here. Look at that. Stinky guy. Right on camera, mate. People around the world watching you, and you're letting it rip. Shocking. My gosh, that's so smelly you could knock a buzzard off a carcass. How's this big guy? Hey, on the job, yeah, just opens it up, lets it go there, tries to make it look like Dingo's letting one rip on camera. So when it comes to toxicity of venom, let's get back onto that. I'm getting distracted this morning. He's such a beautiful snake. I'll give the king cobra a whopping 7 out of 10 for toxicity of venom because of that neurotoxic venom that will kill you. Someone got bitten in Indonesia a while ago by king cobra, died within 40 minutes. Massive quantity of venom coming down, just put your body into shock, you die fast. Which brings us to our second category, and that's of the proximity to people that these snakes find themselves in. How often do king cobras come across people? Well, actually, in the wild, they love forested areas, but as deforestation happens and people move into their habitat throughout Southeast Asia, people are coming into contact with king cobras a lot more, which means that there's conflict between human beings and king cobras all the time. And that's become a real problem. You don't want a snake like Thor in your house. No, not at all. And you're finding these snakes, they're coming into plantations. So wherever people live, that's where rodents will come for food. They snake feed as these king cobras. So snakes will come in looking for rodents, and that brings the king cobra. They come in after that. Let me just see if he wants to sit for a little bit. Sit, my boy. Come on, up you go. He's really on the move today. He's on the move. Did a little poop and now he's on the move. There we go. That's fine. You just sit here for a bit. Beautiful. I absolutely love this snake. My favorite snake in the world. This beautiful individual king cobra. And what happens is these snakes come into contact with human beings quite often. And that's a real problem. It's a real issue. You're in your house. These snakes have come into your house. Yes, they're cleaning out the other snakes, but you don't want a 4 or 5 meter king cobra in your bathroom. Not at all. Look at him. Isn't he majestic? And as I touch his spine, yeah, keeps his hood up. It's a little trick with king cobras. You touch them often on their spine like that, rub your hand down, hood will come up. And if I got closer, hood would come up even higher. I don't want to mess around with him. Look at that. Ooh. Talk about a tiger by the tail. I love these snakes. Isn't he impressive? So our second category, proximity to people, I'll give the king cobra another massive 7 out of 10. Which brings us on to our next category, and that is the personality of the snake. Now, as you can see this morning, Thor's been very chilled out, and here's a lovely king cobra. You'll see, he's just looking at me through his left eye. I have to watch him now. He could rush me from there. You see a lot of king cobras on internet and on YouTube where people are picking them up, even giving them kisses on the lips. And that would give you a false sense of security that these snakes are just super mellow. And what actually happens with king cobras, they are pretty mellow. They don't like attacking, but they're very defensive. They're very confident. As confident as Mike Tyson in the ear biting competition. Super confident. And what they'll do, they're not nervous. So So they won't bite, and then when they want to, they'll rush forward. Really intelligent. They'll gauge the distance. Thor knows he probably can't get to me now because I'll roll out of the way like Winnie Pooh out of a hole. You'll see me roll fast. Come here, boy. Come on. So you might be lulled into a false sense of security that the personality of these snakes is just like a big puppy dog, like a ball python with fangs. Nothing could be further from the truth. I've had king cobras chasing me all over the place. In the jungles in Cambodia, I've had them chasing me around my room. I'm fortunate. We probably have the biggest collection of king cobras on the African continent, potentially even in the world. And I work with these snakes often. And as you know, my favorite snakes. But you cannot take for granted the danger and the personality of these snakes. Just because I know Thor doesn't mean he's tame. Doesn't mean I can just cuddle up with him, give him a hug and a kiss. He is a wild animal still, and he has a personality that can cause a whole bunch of grief for me very, very quickly. And what we're going to do to illustrate it, I brought Thor out this morning so you could see him. But let me show you a couple of other images that's happened this last year just from my handling with various king cobras in our collection. So as you could have seen from some of those videos, king cobras not always as calm as this. Sometimes really, really grumpy snakes. But when it comes to personality, most of the times they're more confident, will only defend themselves. They're not naturally aggressive snakes. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Which leads us to our final category, and that's the X factor. That's the factor where we give extra points to certain snakes for characteristics that they have that don't fit our first 3 categories. And when it comes to the king cobra, man alive, we can just start naming them. The second biggest yield of any venom in the world, of any venomous snake. So the gaboon viper's got 9.7 mils of venom, king cobra 7 mils of neurotoxic venom. Just the sheer yield and the quantity and the volume of that venom can shut your body down really quickly. A guy in England who was keeping king cobras got bitten, died within 4 minutes from just multiple organ failure from the sheer quantity of that venom. That adds to the danger factor. Then we're talking the size of the snake. And Thor, he's a big snake, but he's not fully grown. But look at the size of this guy. Isn't he massive? And we can push probably another meter, another 3 foot on top of him. And king cobras are absolutely monster snakes, huge snakes. Which means when it comes to danger factors, a big snake like this, even more dangerous to handle, and its strike is longer. King cobras actually rush forward, so they'll move a good 6 foot or so in a charge, come right at you, mouth open. Really super dangerous snakes. So when it comes to the X factor, I have to give the king cobra a massive 9 out of 10. He's looking a little bit more grumpy now. It's okay, my boy. We're almost finished. And that means our total score for the king cobra is a massive 29 out of 40. My favorite snake in the world, and number 7 on my list of the world's most dangerous snakes. Isn't he spectacular? Join us next time as we carry on counting down the 10 most dangerous snakes in the world, and we get to number 6. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us. Dingo out.